What's up? What's up? How are y'all doing out there? This is your boy Easy Work Boxing. About to hit you everywhere, but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. No bias talk, no racism on this channel. Just talk about the sport that I love, my opinion of it. We got to talk about these heavyweights, man. I watched the heavyweight 1990 video. I like to research it so I know what I'm talking about when I do talk about boxing. And I was totally amazed. See, I've been watching boxing since I was 8 years old, but I was 8 years old. I couldn't remember the technique and how technical, fighters were back then. And, I was watching Mike Tyson. His fights only lasted one round, so you didn't have time to study the game for real. I'm 8. I watched the video today, I was studying the Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. That came across my mind. So I was like, let me, check out, these some videos, go into some documentaries and start watching about these old school fighters. And man, I was totally amazed by these heavyweights. These heavyweights that were back in the day, the 1990s, Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, who else? Ray Mercer, Larry Holmes, George Foreman, it's a more Burke Cooper, Tyrell Biggs, Razor Ruddock, Tommy Guns, Tommy Guns. These fighters, man, these dudes were so technical back in the day to be heavyweights. They fought like they were middleweights. Technical as hell. You seeing a guy that weighed 235 pounds fighting like he a lightweight. And I'm not just talking about speed. No, 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 no. They were technical with it. I'm talking about slipping punches, catching punches, 1-2s, ducking on the heavyweights box like middleweights in the 1990s. And the punching, the slugging. Oh my God. These dudes will stand in front of each other and throw and hit each other in the face all day. And Lord, I don't understand how is it that these heavyweights that I just named don't have brain damage. Evander Holyfield, man, some of their fights, if you've seen them and looked at them, the way they were punching and slugging each other, which they say for the 1984 Olympics, for those who, I think that's the Olympic team that won all the gold. They said they used to have to train in half a ring. Like they had to spar each other in half a ring. And I kind of see that had to be something that was put into effect back then, because you can tell the way how the heavyweights wasn't no footwork. Wasn't no footwork. Wasn't no moving around. I mean, you seen some footwork. You seen some fighters, Muhammad Ali. You seen fighters move around the ring, but they straight in front of each other back in the day, throwing bombs. How these dudes ain't got brain, a lot of them ain't got brain damage, I don't understand. I'm talking about these dudes was slanging and banging. Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe versus Evander Holyfield. That's a fight that they say they've been wanting for years, right? I didn't know nothing about the fight because I was a kid. I was a kid. But Lord, Riddick Bowe was something special. Riddick Bowe was something special. Also was Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was something special. But, the beef between them started in the amateurs. Riddick Bowe, was and I saw the amateur fight, and in my opinion, they were trying to rob Riddick Bowe. From the first round, he won the first round. I do give the second round to Lennox Lewis, but it probably came from him not being able to think, being upset because they took a point from him. I think they took a point from Riddick Bowe for no reason. Riddick Bowe didn't, they cheated Riddick Bowe basically in that Olympic fight against Lennox Lewis. Now, I don't think that was a reason for him to duck Lennox Lewis. I felt like he should have fought Lennox Lewis, but I can't, it's a yin and yang thing going on with that. You know what I'm saying? Because how he know they didn't want to rob him again? You know what I'm saying? This is at the time when he throws the belt in the trash because Lennox Lewis was his mandatory. And Lennox Lewis, and him had that situation from the amateurs, and he didn't fight Lennox Lewis. He put the belt in the trash. So, when we watch this, we thinking like Crawford and Spence if Spence ducking is gonna be the most major duck. No, 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 no. Riddick Bowe versus Evander Holyfield. That's questionable as a duck. Um, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Archer. I mean not Archer. What's his name? Aaron Pryor. You know, it's been some major fights that has not happened, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So this is not nothing new to the sport because I'm sure the entire world wanted to see Riddick Bowe versus Lennox Lewis. Hell, I wanted to see Lennox. I would have loved to see Riddick Bowe versus Mike Tyson. Have you noticed Mike Tyson ain't never called out no Riddick Bowe? Riddick Bowe would have slaughtered Mike Tyson ass. I promise y'all, he would have slaughtered Mike Tyson. I know y'all looking at it, y'all thinking, bro, Evander Holyfield beat Mike Tyson twice. And let's not forget Buster Douglas, okay? Let's not forget Buster. Man, Riddick Bowe would have beat the brakes. Riddick Bowe would have beat the brakes off of Mike Tyson. And man, Ray Mercer, Larry Holmes, coming back, Larry Holmes. That's why I see why Floyd say that Larry Holmes is one of the greatest heavyweights. Larry Holmes beat Ray Mercer after coming back after 5 years of retirement. Then he ended up whooping on Ray Mercer, which Ray Mercer wasn't nothing to play with. All right. Whooping on Ray Mercer, telling him, oh, I ain't none of no Tommy. I ain't none of no Tommy Guns. I don't know his real, I can't remember his last name. Tommy Dave? No, not. But y'all know who I'm talking about, Tommy, the white boy who played in Rocky. You know, Rocky had to fight in the end. You know what I'm saying? That was Tommy Gunn. Man, Ray Mercer was out there getting whooped by Larry Holmes. And he talking to the commentators in the fight. I ain't no Tommy, whooping Ray Mercer. Oh, and it's also a fight by a guy named Stewart with George Foreman. Oh, the only A whooping ain't come from Muhammad Ali, y'all. It's a guy named Stewart, a heavyweight named Stewart, if I ain't mistaken, beat the brakes off George Foreman. Had his eyes swole. The nigga was looking like Pikachu. The nigga eyes were so tight. Beat the brakes off George Foreman. George Foreman knocked the man down twice. This man got up. George Foreman started trying to do like Larry Holmes did, because Larry Holmes did it first when he was talking to the people outside while he was whooping on Mercer. George Foreman tried it against that guy that I just told y'all, Stewart. And I guess Stewart got offended after them two knocked to beat the brakes. Beat the pads off his ass. I'm talking about had his, man, I'm watching these heavyweights. It was beautiful, man. Could y'all imagine seeing the technique of them heavyweights back then? You could tell that them heavyweights really went to the Olympics, was boxing since they was kids. Ray Mercer fought, and not to mention Evander Holyfield, two-time undisputed champion of the world, which nobody says anything about. And not to mention the fact that this man was a cruiserweight and a slanging and banging with Riddick Bowe. Now, also Burke Cooper was a cruiserweight who moved to the heavyweight. Now, I don't think he ever got a championship, but he was slanging and banging with the big boys. This was real boxing technique, jabs, 1-2, slipping. You know what I'm saying? I never paid attention to it. Triple hooks. I just seen Riddick Bowe do a triple hook as a heavyweight. No disrespect to Deontay Wilder. None of this. Precise hooks. Precise 1-2s. Duck on the slip, catch, shoot. Man, it's beautiful. It was beautiful. I couldn't go to sleep. I was trying to go to sleep for work, and I just could not stop watching it because it was just so amazing. It was amazing. Seeing these big men, also, how is it that these guys don't have brain damage? Every fighter, every heavyweight fighter from the 1990s should suffer from some form of brain damage, y'all. They should suffer from some, Lord, the punches, And Michael Moore, he was the first heavyweight southpaw champion. Michael Moore. Who did I see? I watched literally the fight of George Foreman beat Michael Moore to become champion. And let me tell y'all this age thing, talking about prime stuff, this some new stuff that's going on in boxing today. George Foreman came back when he was 40-something years old. 44 years old. Bernard Hopkins came back and fought until he was damn near 50. So all these fighters nowadays talking about, oh, I'm gonna fight until I'm 36, or I'm gonna fight until I'm 32. And no, see, boxing has totally changed, especially in the heavy. We don't see fights like that no more. There was really people sitting on the edge of their seats watching them fights. I just seen, no disrespect to Deontay Wilder. I love you, Deontay Wilder. I'm from Alabama. I love you. You done been in a fight, bro, where you didn't throw at least 10 punches for 7 rounds against Ortiz. Ain't none of that happening with them 1990 heavyweights. They in that whole, they slanging, bro. They slanging. Respect to all the heavyweights out there, the OG heavyweights, man. The OG heavyweights, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, David Tour, Michael Grant, Shannon Briggs. Who else? Larry Holmes, George Foreman, Burke Cooper, Tyrell Biggs, Razor Ruddock, Lennox Lewis. Man, these dudes, man, I don't, boy. Somebody should make sure them men never, for the entertainment they gave people in them 1990s, the boxing that they gave the public in 1990s, them heavyweights, them men should never have to worry about nothing a day in their life again, bro. It should be some form of a union or something in boxing, bro. Because them men gave excitement. Wasn't no ducking. I can't say it wasn't no ducking. Because Lennox Lewis and, you know what I'm saying, Riddick Bowe situation. Everybody fought each other, bro. Everybody was fighting each other. You see what I'm saying? It's not what's going on today. Didn't nobody talk about pay-per-view numbers. Didn't nobody talk about how many Twitter followers, how many fans they got. Then wasn't nobody talking about no across the streets. All right? When nobody talking about I'm gonna handle my situation on my side and then I'm gonna go fight them. No, in the 90s, them heavyweights, they were men, nigga. They came out and they did that. Like they was in the streets. Do you hear me? Nigga, I heard you was talking shit. What's up? Let's go. That's what that, man. Lord have mercy. It was beautiful watching that. I could not go to sleep. I salute to all them heavyweights. Mike Tyson included. Man, they gave people their money's worth. They gave people their money's worth. This what we going these rigged fights. Jake Paul and Silva fight rigged. We got fighters don't even want to fight each other. No, it wasn't like that back in the day. Lord. Now they say Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis was the fighter of that decade, of that era, which I can't believe he beat, all the top fighters. But I believe, and my belief really means nothing, because if Riddick Bowe believed he could whoop Lennox Lewis, he would have fought him. So, but I believe from the fundamentals and the skill set of Riddick Bowe, he would have beat the hell out of Lennox Lewis. He would have knocked Lennox Lewis out. And I know people gonna go, well, that didn't happen in the amateurs when they was boxing, for the Olympics. When you come out into the professionals, it's totally different. And as a professional, Riddick Bowe would have knocked Lennox Lewis the hell out. I don't know why he didn't fight him. There's a video actually where Evander Holyfield is telling Riddick Bowe that he's upset with him to this day because he didn't fight Lennox Lewis. in which, like I gotta say about Evander Holyfield, Burke Cooper, these were former cruiserweights going up with the big boys. They deserve hella respect. They deserve hella respect. Now let me see. They got the names of who was all fighting that era. Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock, James Douglas, Tim Witherspoon. Tim Witherspoon is another big name out there that's been forgotten. This is a guy who was beefing with Don King about Don King said he was stealing his money, and his Don King's stepson, half son, they was robbing him. Tim Witherspoon, he was a good champion too. Carl Williams, I'm unfamiliar with him. Francisco Demania, he was a WBO champion. So y'all, that let us know that the WBO was out in 1990. Okay, the WBO was out in 1990. Riddick Bowe, Ray Mercer, George Foreman. Those were the top 10. Evander Holyfield was undisputed at the time in 1990. It was amazing. See, y'all, I love the sport of boxing. You see what I'm saying? I love it. I wish I could have did it. I wish I could have fought. But watching them heavyweight, no, matter of fact, let me say that, because I said that today. Watching them heavyweights fight, see, everybody wouldn't want to jump into the sport of boxing if they would have been around and watched them men go like that. Have y'all noticed that back then a lot of people didn't want to box? You want to know why? Go back and watch 1990 heavyweights fight. Go back and watch 1990 heavyweights fight and then see if Jake Paul and his brother would have wanted to box then. Let's see if KSI and all these other guys would have wanted to play with boxing then. Hell no. Them heavyweights was knocking heads off. Do you hear me? Them niggas, they was swinging like they caught you at the gas station and you choked their mama. That's how they was throwing punches. I don't understand how they ain't got brain damage. I don't understand how them dudes ain't got brain damage. The way they was slugging and hitting each other. The 1990s era of boxing, heavyweights especially. That's why a lot of people didn't want to box. The weight, bro. For one, it wasn't about just, oh, I can punch. No, you had to be a technician, even as a heavyweight. It wasn't no I could just punch. No, you had to you had to know everything. You had to have a pedigree in boxing to stand up with them dudes. Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock, them. You had to have a pedigree to stand in front of them men. You just couldn't jump off the porch at 19 and 17 and get in there and think you finna beat no Razor Ruddock, no Evander Holyfield, no Riddick Bowe, no Lennox Lewis. You finna get you finna get hurt. Technical big men. Do you hear me? Technical big men. I'm talking about, I ain't gonna say fight like no Floyd Mayweather, because I ain't seen a heavyweight yet that could fight like Floyd Mayweather. But what I'm saying is, all around technical fighters and they heavyweights, 200, damn near 300 pounds slipping and catching punches and fighting off the back foot and fighting the inside and the outside. That shit is amazing. And Lord, oh my God. And I didn't talk so much about Tyson Fury. And I respect Tyson Fury. I love Tyson Fury as a fighter. But now that I sit up, and I know people say you should have been seeing that. But no, y'all got to remember, I'm 8 years old when I used to watch these dudes when my dad used to have these fight parties. I didn't know nothing about technique. I didn't know nothing about slipping and catching punches and footwork and creating distance and jabbing. And man, them heavyweights had it. So let me tell you this. When you see an old heavyweight disrespect a new heavyweight, keep your mouth closed. Keep your mouth closed. I know, even if you like the heavyweight, understand, they generation of heavyweights would have mopped the floor with these dudes. They have every right to criticize any heavyweight from the 1990s has every right to criticize the sport of boxing and the way fighters are fighting and ducking each other today. Any heavyweight from the 1990s and beyond has the right to criticize your favorite fighter. Because if you go back and you watch them dudes fight, it will make these dudes, it make boxing look like wrestling now. I'm gonna put it to you like that. It makes boxing look like wrestling now, the way them dudes fought. If I'd have been 8 years old and really just paid attention, well, I'm a kid though. I was so amazed by Mike Tyson being so small, knocking people out. That's what made me want to learn. But if I'd have been a 16-year-old watching them heavyweights bang like that, I wouldn't have won the box. Because they clearly showed you, you can't play boxing. This is real right here. That was a real era right there. And I'm sure the decades before. I'm sure the decades before. But the 1990s showed you, if you ain't for real about boxing, you didn't see no NFL players jumping out then. You didn't see no basketball players jumping in no ring then. You didn't see no Jake Pauls, no movie stars, no actors jumping in no ring in no 1990s, did you? Huh? Hell no. That'd have been their last acting job. They would have had brain damage. You don't see no rappers boxing. You wouldn't have seen no rappers boxing then. Somebody would have left with brain damage. Them was real deal killers back then. Now the question I gotta ask y'all is, do y'all think they would stand the heavyweights of the day, the Derek Chisora, the Anthony Joshua's, the Andy Ruiz's, Joe Joyce's, all them guys? Do y'all think they could stand up with them killers, them gorillas from back in the day? I got 4 people watching. Please comment. I need you to interact with me, please, because I just want to do. Y'all think the heavyweights of the day could slang and bang with them boys? I'm sitting here watching George Foreman right now. George Foreman even had a jab. I'm watching him and Evander Holyfield bang it out, standing in front of each other. Ain't no holding, ain't no clinching. Only time they clinch is when they get hurt. Huh? Only time they clinch is when they get hurt. Huh? Only time they clinch is when they get hurt. Man. Tony Tubbs, former WBA heavyweight champion of the world. Riddick Bowe was a monster, though. Jab, had a great jab. He could fight you in the inside. Riddick Bowe could fight you from the outside. Technical, big guy. Evander Holyfield. Slang and bangle. Even still technical, though, because he had to slip them punches. Evander Holyfield used to slip a lot of punches, even getting caught. You know what I'm saying, man? These dudes weren't playing back in the day, man. Today's boxing, and me seeing this, boxing is pathetic today. Boxing is pathetic today, watching these heavyweights, man. Oh my God, bro. It was just amazing. Just watch. I couldn't even go to sleep because I wanted to keep going and keep learning and keep knowing who was really the dude back then in the day. Larry Holmes coming back, 5 years of retirement. 5 years of retirement. He's still coming back, then fighting the top notch. The top notch. Mike Weaver versus Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, 25. You see what I'm saying? This what made boxing what it is today. So like I was saying, man, don't get mad when you hear an OG boxer from the 1990s and beyond talk about what's going on in the sport today. They'll not hate. Watch the videos of these old boxing matches of 1990 fighters, heavyweights. Watch how technical they are, how they slang and bang right there in front of each other. No playing, no ducking each other like that. Everybody fought everybody. Man, this was real boxing. This was the real era. You didn't see tennis players wanting to get them boxing in. You didn't see basketball and football players want to box in the 1990s because it was brutal. It was brutal. Michael Moore. Alex Stewart, that's his name. Okay, Alex Stewart almost beat Michael Moore too. But Alex Stewart is the dude that beat George Foreman's ass. He lost the fight. They gave it to George Foreman. You know, politics and boxing. You know, politics and boxing. Man, he beat George Foreman's eyes. He had George Foreman looking like Pikachu. Pikachu. Ray Mercer versus Tommy Morrison. That's his name, Tommy Morrison, not Tommy Gunn. I watched a clip about that fight, and you know, Ray Mercer said that Tommy Morrison was on steroids that fight. So steroids ain't just show up in our time, y'all. I mean, of course we know that, but you know, boxers was abusing steroids then. Ray Mercer said that his security, a guy who was his security, was a weightlifter, and he saw Tommy Morrison's back at the weigh-in, and so he pulled Ray Mercer to the side and told him, he said, that dude juiced up. And he was like, what you mean? He said, I know the mark that's on his back. He said, that's what dudes be looking like in the gym. He said, Tommy Morrison was punching him so hard. He said, but he knew he was going to gas out. He said, Tommy Morrison slipped and breathed hard in his ear one time. He said he gasped for air in his ear. And that's when y'all see the famous highlights of Ray Mercer hitting Tommy Morrison with them hooks hard like that. He said because he knew he gassed out. Tommy Morrison was on steroids that fight, and Ray Mercer still knocked him out. Steroids don't mean you're going to always win. All right? That's why is a technical boxer will beat a brute any day. Hence, and I hate to keep bringing this up, but how can I not be truthful? That's what that's what I made my channel for. Hence Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. And I'm from Alabama. I love you, Deontay Wilder, but I have to tell the truth. You can have all the power in the world. And I salute you, Deontay Wilder, for your training, for what you've been doing, what I've been seeing new. I salute you for that. You can have all the power in the world, but the skills pay the bills. The skills pay the bills. You got to land that missile, baby. You got to land that missile. Okay? You got to land it. That's just like shooting in the air. You got to hit the target. Power don't mean nothing if you can't hit. If you can't hit me. You know, in boxing, you got to have a chin and more. It ain't just about skills neither. You have all the skills in the world. You ain't got no chin. You know what I'm saying? You probably going to get knocked out. And Evander Holyfield fought Burke Cooper. These were both former cruiserweights who was fighting these big boys at welterweight. I mean, not at welterweight, heavyweight, I'm sorry. And they banging. Y'all, I promise y'all, and I'm really saying this. I don't understand how these dudes didn't have how all of them don't got brain damage. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. Thank you. But I'm like, How these dudes don't have brain damage? The way that they were punching, you got to think about 240-pound dude. Even though they got the same, they weighing that much too, so it ain't really that much to them. But just think about if a 254-pound dude and you weigh 160, 180, hit you straight in your jaw, bro. Full force. Bro, you done, bro. Even if you do got a good chin, I'm talking about if you regular street fighting or something, even if you do got a good chin, he gonna stun you real bad, bro. You gonna have to grab him. You gonna have to grab him real quick. I'm talking about you can't let that nigga go. Man, and imagine a dude that size keep hitting you in your head. Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something. But now nobody ever disrespect a 1990s heavyweight. Don't ever disrespect them dudes. Or OG legend heavyweights back in the day. All right. And I'm going to tell y'all something else too. Rocky Marciano had some rigged fights. You ain't going to believe me when I tell you that, but go back and watch some of them fights. Go back and watch some of them documentaries and you're going to understand. Rocky Marciano had some real fights. And they love to talk about how he beat Joe Louis, but he fought an old Joe Louis. A young Joe Louis would have beat the hell out of Rocky Marciano. Now, Rocky Marciano was good, just like when he fought Jersey Joe Walcott. Jersey Joe would have whooped him, but Jersey Joe was out his prime when he fought Rocky Marciano. It go back to the same situation of Joe Calzaghe, which I respect Joe Calzaghe, retired undefeated. But Joe, you fought Bernard Hopkins out of his prime and Roy Jones out of their prime. But you still won. But I just think it would have been a different fight if Joe would have fought them in their prime. You know what I'm saying? Just my opinion of it, They say Ali didn't have that condition. The higher ups diagnosed him with that disease. I believe he was poisoned. I watched a documentary with Muhammad Ali. They was talking about Muhammad Ali, and the guy said he went into a restroom after Muhammad Ali lost. I can't remember what fight it was he lost. He said, but Muhammad Ali had lost, and he said he was at a restaurant or a hotel, and he went in there, and you know how people be in the bathroom, passing out napkins, people who work there. He said when he came in there, the black guy who was doing that was crying. And then he said, he asked him, he said, why are you crying? He said, because Muhammad Ali lost. And he said, I understood then that Muhammad Ali was more than just a boxer. He said, because that man told me that Muhammad Ali made me proud to be a black man. You see what I'm saying? He said Muhammad Ali made him proud to be a black man. You see? So I believe he was poisoned because the power that they gave Muhammad Ali, but that Muhammad Ali possessed and that he put forth towards the people. So they had to find some way to bring him down. Because as far as them saying he got punched too much, Freddie Roach suffered from the same thing and he still can train. And I've been meaning to say, I ain't never told nobody that. I always thought about that. I always believe Muhammad Ali was poisoned. Because Freddie Roach supposed to suffer from the same thing and he's still coherent, can train and do all that. You see what I'm saying? I think somebody poisoned Muhammad Ali. My opinion of it. Muhammad Ali was more than a boxer. And which I'm not sitting up here, I tell y'all, Muhammad Ali, in my opinion, he did a lot of underhanded stuff that y'all don't know about, especially with that Nation of Islam stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot people got to learn about this world. But as far as that, yeah, Muhammad Ali, he was that guy. He was that poster guy for black men, Think about it. Also, since we're going to talk about Muhammad Ali, think about when they made Larry Holmes beat the hell out of Muhammad Ali. Why you think they allowed that to happen? Think about that. Why y'all think they allowed Larry Holmes to beat the hell out of Muhammad Ali like that, knowing this man wasn't able to fight like that? Why you think they did that? Because they wanted to destroy his image in front of the people. They wanted to show y'all that Muhammad Ali was just a regular man. That's why they let Larry Holmes was crying. This man was shedding tears because they wouldn't stop the fight. He kept asking them to stop the fight. They allowed him to beat on Muhammad Ali. Because why? Because Muhammad Ali was the poster child for black men. He made black men strong. He made black men feel like they couldn't lose. He made black men feel like they were gods, like they could not be stopped. And y'all know I'm not racist on this channel. I'm just talking. I'm just telling y'all the truth. But that's what Muhammad Ali did for black men. So to sit up and let him get beat on, that was their get back. That was their get back. The way they sit up and let Larry Holmes beat on Muhammad Ali, they probably wanted him to die that night. I think they wanted Muhammad Ali to die that night. Larry Holmes was in his dressing room, his locker room, crying. He said, "I didn't want to do him like that. I didn't want to do him like that." But they wanted him to do him like that. So that's why when I make my videos, sometimes when I tell y'all, it's a lot going on in life that's more important than boxing. That was a situation that was more important than boxing. Because it wasn't about Muhammad Ali losing. It was about everybody who looked up to him losing. That's what that was about. Rest his soul. Rest his soul. You know, throughout any form of life, you know, we all fall into situations in life, you know what I'm saying? As people, we all live flesh, you know what I'm saying? But you can never take a man's greatness and you can never take what a man accomplished. No matter what you feel about a man, no matter what you have to say about a man, you can never take away what he's accomplished, what he's done. No matter how I feel about certain things, I always give a man his credit. And these men, these fighters back in the day, they deserve their credit, man. And I didn't even know, see, this is why I like to research. I didn't even know Evander Holyfield fought Larry Holmes. He beat Larry Holmes. Yeah, it was Alex Stewart, y'all. Alex Stewart was the fighter that beat George Foreman. I'm talking about beat George Foreman. Hey, I'm talking, ooh, I don't know how they gave that man that fight, George Foreman. George Foreman was supposed to lose that fight, but that was the politics of boxing back then. Y'all give me a second. I gotta have a restroom break. Give me a second, please, y'all. If y'all want me to keep going, please let me know. You know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoying the video, I hope you are enjoying the video because I enjoy watching the documentaries and stuff. So I'm trying to give y'all the best I can give you. So please, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to keep going, y'all let me know. I'm gonna take a break right quick, just a little 15-second break. Oh, and also don't let me forget about this fighter right here. This fighter right here. What's up, Third Eye? What's going on? David Tour. David Mother Tour. David Tour looked like, well, I guess he ain't he from the same place Joseph Parker from, Alaska or somewhere like that. No, David Tour probably from Hawaii. Yeah, he is Somalian. David Tour was shorter than Andy Ruiz and will knock your temple out your head with a left hook. Look up David Tour. I know y'all ain't. I know a lot of people ain't never heard of David Tour. If you ain't never watched boxing, look up David Tour. Short. He was another. He was probably shorter than Mike Tyson. Probably, I think. Had a big like fade, like he didn't play fade, but he was Somalian. David Tour would knock your ass out. David Tour, Michael Grant. Michael Grant lost to Lennox Lewis. I remember watching that fight. Michael Grant was an undefeated fighter coming up. He was a well-known good prospect, but he ran across Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis had to do what he had to do. I'm trying to see if there are any other, like, you know what I'm saying, like real fight that I watched that were heavyweights back in the day. Besides like Mike Tyson or anything like that. I never really seen. I did watch that George Foreman Michael Moore fight. Let me see what other heavyweights. Because when I was getting a teenager, that's when the heavyweight division was dying out. You know, that's when, you know, the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Felix Trinidad's, and you know, that's when that era came out. You know, the heavyweights were starting to die off then. You know what I'm saying? After Lennox Lewis' reign, you know, then of course we had the Klitschko's, and the Klitschko's was boring as hell, so nobody really cared about watching the heavyweights at that time. So, you know, no disrespect to the Klitschko's if you're a Klitschko fan, but when Klitschko started reigning, the heavyweight division didn't do nothing. Didn't nobody care about the heavyweight division or watch it. You know, let me see, when did the heavyweight, you know what I'm saying, the heavyweights actually come back? The heavyweights didn't really come back, in my opinion, until Deontay Wilder. I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. But I hate to say it because I don't want nobody to just say it because thinking I'm saying it because I'm from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? But Deontay Wilder brought the heavyweight division back to the limelight. And anybody say that you a lie. If you deny that, you lying. Ain't nobody care about the heavyweights until Deontay Wilder showed up. Didn't nobody know who Bermain Stavern was for real? Am I lying? I ain't just saying this because I'm from Alabama. It's the truth. And then what? Lennox Lewis was the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. A fighter that's not even from America. And AJ was close to doing it. AJ was close to doing it. I don't know what, well, you know, I know what happened. Usyk happened. Ruiz happened. But yeah, Lennox Lewis was the last undisputed champion. You know, and that was in I think, yeah, that was in the four belt era, you know. So we trying to see who's gonna be crowned now. Usyk the closest thing we got, you know, and he got to face Tyson Fury, which I think Tyson Fury is gonna demolish Usyk. I know everybody goes off the skill set of Usyk, but Tyson Fury already demolished the most dangerous heavyweight out today, and that's Deontay Wilder. Usyk is very skill set. He has skill set, pedigree, Olympian, but a guy that's 257, 68 pounds with a skill set, can move around the ring and defensive. against Usyk, Tyson Fury is gonna beat the hell out of Usyk. He's gonna beat. First of all, Usyk is a former cruiserweight moving up to heavyweight, so you know he's not gonna knock out Tyson Fury. Then we also got to think about this. Tyson Fury is 6'9". Usyk is 6'3". If Tyson Fury comes out with the same game plan of the Wilder fight and come forward, he is going to knock Usyk the hell out. Easily. Easily. See, everybody wants to box with Usyk. That's a lot of these guys' problem. They want to box with Usyk. You go out there and you fight a skill set fighter. You fight him. Floyd Mayweather, you fight him. Willie Pep, you fight him. Terrence Crawford, you fight him. You fight technicians. You don't go out there and try to box with a boxer. And boxers be getting in them fighters' head too. Oh, you know, he ain't gonna do nothing but run. He know he ain't no better fighter than me. He know I'm more technical than him. That's how they get in their head. Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather. Had no business sitting up there. You 20 pounds heavier than this man, and you out there trying to prove to him you could box. That's why I always tell y'all, boxing is more mental than physical. It's more mental. You got to have this right before you get in there, because somebody could talk you out your whole game plan. So they're talking trash you. Oh, you ain't gonna do nothing but run. That's because they know you got good footwork, and they're afraid that you're gonna beat them by moving around the ring. Oh, you scared to stand in front of me toe to toe? I'd be sitting there looking for I ain't got to, and I'm not. Yeah, because you scared. Yeah, because you want me to stand there in front of you. No, I'm not gonna do that. I ain't stupid. I'm gonna beat your ass from the outside of the ring. I mean, from the outside. But yeah, y'all look up the 1984 Olympics and let them talk about how they used to be training for the Olympics back in the day. Back then, they used to have to train in a half of a ring. Now, I know some people like, well, what that's supposed to mean? They was training in a half of a ring. Wasn't nowhere to run. You either had to be skilled or get killed. You feel me? It wasn't nowhere to run. Half a ring. They sparred in half a ring. You either had to be skilled or get killed. And that's why you seen them bring home all them gold medals in 1984, because of the way of the training, the way they put them in the ring, the way they made them go at each other in them Olympics tryouts and training. They had them boys in a half of a ring fighting each other. So what somebody was going to do to them in a full ring when they didn't train? Come on, man. Easy going to get it to you. I love this. My homeboys, I used to go over their house when YouTube was first created. Like, nigga, that's all you want to watch is boxing. Yes, I do. I do. That's all I want to watch. Boxing. I love it. Girls come over. They want to chill with me. Oh, that's all you do is watch boxing. I love it. I love it. And hopefully if you keep chilling with me, you can love it too. Michael Moore. Remember this, y'all. The first left-handed heavyweight champion of the world. Michael Moore. Michael Moore is the fighter that they have Teddy Atlas in his corner to my. Think about your son. Think about your son is watching this right now. Your son, which is a good way to get a fighter hype. And he went out there and won that fight, actually, when he went to talk about that. He said, your son is watching this fight right now, and he's crying his eyes out. What are you going to do about it? Go out there and get it. Michael Moore went out there and won. Old Burke Cooper. I'm watching both Burke Cooper versus Michael Moore right now with a little replay of it. Y'all remember that name, Burke Cooper, man. That he was a cruiserweight, former cruiserweight too, moved up, trying to do his thing at heavyweight. These dudes was really out here, man. They was really out here in the streets, B. Okay? All this little padded boxing going on, scared to fight each other. Oh, I want to fight next year and all. No, they went at it. So that's why I know I don't want to hear nobody ever disrespect these dudes. If anybody got a right to talk about boxing, talk about any of these fighters today, them fighters from back in the day, he bound to Holyfield, not just the heavyweights, the middleweights from back in the day, the Sugar Ray Leonards, all of them, because all of them stood in the ring and fought. It wasn't no moving around, clinching, and all this playing in the ring. And don't want to fight each other. And across the street, I make more money than you than pay-per-view. Why do that matter when two fighters who come together can make a blockbuster? Why are we sitting up here arguing about who make the most when we both finna make a killing? It's me and you. It's me and you. And speaking of, when I was talking about the brain damage, from what I understand, Riddick Bowe last fights was with Bolter, I think. Not Francois Bolter. Galata. And they said, you know, he talked real, like his speech is real messed up. He got a speech impediment now, you know. What's his name? Shit, I just said the name. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. Riddick Bowe. After he fought, what fight did he fought? He had a speech impediment after that fight. I guess it gave Galata. After he fought Galata, he had a speech impediment. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't understand how all of them don't have brain damage. Riddick Bowe, all them, Donovan, Razor Ruddock, Lennox Lewis, them dudes supposed to have brain. And I hear sometimes even Lennox Lewis, when he doing his commentating, he says certain stuff, you know, he stumble with his words too, but he's supposed to. Man, the way that they fought, bro, the way they was hitting each other, I can't blame them. And my prayers and my blessings goes out to all of them, bro. Never say nothing bad about them, bro, because the way they was getting hit, bro, and how technical they were, bro, I'm surprised ain't none of them get killed in the ring. The way Ray Mercer was rocking Tommy Morrison with them. Bro, it was a beautiful era in boxing with these men, bro. Real OG boxing. That was the last era. The 1990s was the last era of boxing, man. Of real deal, skill set, toe to toe, punch for punch, skill for skill, jaw for jaw, heart for heart, blood for blood. Boxing was going on, man. This man, come on, man. It was beautiful, man. Tommy Morrison would kill. Be specific with me, though. Which name a heavyweight out there that you think Tommy Morrison would knock out, please, sir? The name of Pacific. I'm gonna try to do that as well for myself and see if I can name one heavyweight. Oh, he'll beat Joseph Parker ass. Prince Charles Martin ass whoop. Anthony Joshua ass whoop. Wilder, ass whoop. Tyson Fury. And a lot of people gonna disagree with this because they think Tyson Fury is very skillful. Tyson Fury got it, you know what I'm saying? He got the skill. He the best heavyweight of the day. I really can't say if Tommy Morrison will beat Tyson Fury. And I know you're gonna say I'm being biased, but nah. Tyson Fury on another level than these other heavyweights. He just on another level than these other heavyweights. AJ Dillon White, Parker, Hughie Fury, Chisora, Elia. Yeah. Man, these dudes wouldn't have stood, man. These dudes wouldn't have stood a chance against them, bro. They wouldn't have stood a chance. These was heavy hitters. These were heavy hitters, man. Gorilla. You understand me? I'm talking about not King Ortiz. Luis Ortiz would have got his brains beat in. Luis Ortiz, Dillon White, shout out to Dillon White. Y'all don't know Dillon White is also a kickboxing champion too. I didn't know that either. Dillon White, ass kick. Use it. Even though the styles of them fighting back then, I don't think if they wanted to use it couldn't beat. How can I say that? Because I'm only saying this because Usyk has skill, real skill. Usyk could have beat a C-class fighter from back then, but all these headlining heavyweights of that era would have beat Usyk ass. Now, if Usyk was in their era and it was Alex Garcia or Tony Tucker, some people like that, yeah, he probably would have beat them. But the top head honchos of Riddick Bowe, man, Riddick Bowe would have gave Usyk brain damage. Usyk could beat Mike Tyson. Usyk would have beat Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield, no. I don't think he would have beat Evander Holyfield. Let me see. Dare I say he would give Tyson Fury a run for his money? Tommy Morrison was all that and more. Tommy Morrison was a good fight, but let's not get it twisted. Tommy Morrison really was not no. You got to remember now, Tommy Morrison was on steroids and more now. You know, shout out to him, rest his soul. You know, his son is a fighter as well too. His son wanted to fight Jake Paul, but because he's a real boxer, Jake Paul wouldn't dare get in the ring unless he was going to bribe him to lose like he did Anderson Silva. Mara would beat up Usyk. Damn. Morrison would beat up Usyk. I'm trying to picture it in my head. Yeah, Morrison would knock Usyk out. Morrison would knock Usyk out, yeah. Shit, now Andrew Galata. Andrew Galata was whooping. Hold on, let me say this too. And I know I've been giving Riddick Bowe a lot of credit, but how dare I told y'all I'd be straightforward and 100 about it. Andrew Galata, Andrew Galata was whooping Riddick Bowe ass. And one of them Klitschko's, whichever it was, Vitaly, he was whooping Lennox Lewis ass too. Vitaly whooped Lennox Lewis ass. I don't care what nobody say. I saw the previews of that. I mean, saw the highlights of that. He was whooping Lennox Lewis' ass. I'm not lying. I told y'all, ain't no bias talk, no race. I don't care because you black. I don't care because you black. If I ain't mistaken, Galata or somebody was whooping Riddick Bowe ass one fight. But furthermore, the Buggers Duster that beat Mike Tyson was smoke every hell. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Buster Douglas, though, he fought Mike Tyson at the right time. He fought Mike Tyson right after his mama had just died. And you know that's when a man angry at the world. That's when you wish a nigga would. You hear a nigga say, I wish a nigga would. You lose your mama, you gonna really wish a nigga would. And at that time, Mike Tyson fought him at the wrong time. That boy was so determined, Mike Tyson knocked him down. And he still got up and knocked Mike Tyson's ass out later on. He was that determined, and he was in shape. Which he went up and going into, you know what I'm saying, diabetic comas after that fight. You know, I think the depression and, you know, the money, everything hit, you know, Douglas at one time. And I think, you know, that's what caused him, you know, to go to, you know, leave boxing for a minute, you know. Losing your mom, and now you a success in boxing, you got all this money and everything changes. So, you know, I think Buster, you know, just it was the best thing for him. You know, that's how God worked. You know, that's just how the Lord worked. You here for certain things, and his certain thing was to beat Mike Tyson, you know. And not saying that's all his accomplishment in his life. You know, the man that had children and more, that's an accomplishment in itself. But just letting y'all know he had situations, you know what I'm saying, from that. Where, you know, he went to comas and things like that. Buster had the most beautiful jab in that fight. Technical, the heavyweights in the 1990s were average, better technical. However, the heavyweights of the day are bigger. Look at Fury, Joshua. You said that heavyweights in the 1990s was on average technical better. You know, Pitbull, respect to you, bro. The heavyweights of the day couldn't tie they jock strap. I mean, they couldn't wipe them dudes' shoes off, man. Them heavyweights of back in the day were way more technical than these dudes. Way more technical than these dudes. That's just my opinion of it. I respect your opinion. You know that. Way more technical. I tried sparring someone who was that tall. I'm telling you, it wasn't fun to deal with at all. Oh, yes. Oh no, they were technically better. Yes, yes. I'm sorry then. They were way more technical, bro. I couldn't believe it. I had to keep watching. I couldn't go to sleep. I said, how is it that all these big men out here fighting like 147 pounds? Moving, slipping punches, fighting on the inside, fighting on the outside, slanging, banging, headshot, 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 body shot. I'm like, oh my God. You talking about a pay-per-view? You talking about a pay-per-view worth spending your money on? These $70, $80 what you spending a day compared to a fight back then? I'm sorry, I read it wrong. I apologize, Pitbull. Compared to a fight from back then? Man, it ain't even no comparing it, man. It ain't even no comparing. Ray Mercer, Tommy Morrison. Man, these dudes was slanging iron, as they say down south in Louisiana, slanging iron. We go into some more heavyweight talk, you know. We go into some more heavyweight talk. Yeah, I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? But they were way more better. The heavyweights of the day, they couldn't stand up in front of you, dude. They embarrassed them. Lennox Lewis, you know what I'm saying, became the champion, you know, with a vacant title at WBC. That's simply because, see, Lennox Lewis went through a situation of what David Haney had to go through. But they weren't calling Lennox Lewis the email champion because, you know, the email and stuff wasn't out there. They probably could have called him the trash champion since he had to get it out of the trash from what Riddick Bowe did. But, you know, he was going through the same thing of what Vasil Lomachenko did to Devin Haney. Vasil Lomachenko didn't want to fight Devin Haney. He gave up the belt. Riddick Bowe didn't want to fight Lennox Lewis at the time. He threw the belt in the trash can. Lennox Lewis became the champion of the world because he was the #1 mandatory for that belt. So history is repeating itself in the sport of boxing, y'all. History is repeating itself in the sport of boxing. But like I said, all these fighters talk about, oh, I ain't got number 3 years left, and that these dudes was fighting till the old school fighters was fighting till they was in their 40s. And I know, hey, the paydays were bigger. They probably had to. I know, you know what I'm saying? The paydays are bigger now. They probably had to keep going like that to, you know, keep up what they had accumulated throughout the span of their career. But, you know, they kept going. Tua Holyfield. See, you know what you're talking about, Pitbull, because you just said a name I don't hear nobody say about. David Tua. You weren't watching boxing back in the day if you don't know about David Tua. One of the best eras. I'm talking about these dudes. I don't know. What was it at the time? Or what was it that made them fight like this? Because they were fighting like gladiators, bro. Like they were in Rome. Like coming from poverty, yeah, your life do depend on it. Because you want all you can get. Man, Riddick Bowe was brutal, bro. I'm seeing him fight a dude named Michael Dokes right now. And bro, the punches that this man didn't land, I don't see how could they stand there and take them punches? I should beat you. That was the dude who had that part in the middle of his head, right? I should beat you. He was a heavyweight. He had a part in the middle of his head, then when he was a power puncher. That's who you talking about, Pitbull. That's who you talking about. And then, he had a fight of the year with David Tua. Yeah, he had that weird haircut. I remember him. Yeah, I remember that name. But I would have loved to see Riddick Bowe versus Lennox Lewis or Riddick Bowe. Let me ask you this, Pitbull. Who you think would have won? Pitbull, you can come on the channel if you want to. The link up in the comments. Who you think would have won between Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson? Who you think would have won between Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson? I got Riddick Bowe by knockout. Riddick Bowe would have knocked Mike Tyson out. With Lewis, even though I think Riddick Bowe, I say Riddick Bowe was more. To me, Riddick Bowe was just more comfortable in the ring than Lennox Lewis. It looked like Riddick Bowe was just made to be in there. Like that was his home. That's why I think he would have beat Lennox Lewis, but Lennox Lewis was good too. And Lennox Lewis was doing good in that amateur fight. But I think that the reason that he was doing good against Bowe in the amateur in that fight is because Bowe was frustrated and he seen what was going on. And that ain't no excuse. I'm not a Riddick Bowe fan like that. I just know that would have knocked me off my game. I got a referee over here going against me, take a point from me for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So I would have been upset, and Lennox Lewis would have got off on me in that round. So yeah, you know. Depends on how motivated Tyson was. Are we talking about the 1990s or late 90s? I'm talking about from 1990, where the real deal heavyweights was fighting. Would have been tired and worn down Tyson. Tyson after prison wasn't the same. No. He would have beat the Tyson before prison. You got to remember, Riddick Bowe, I mean, not Riddick Bowe, but Buster Douglas beat the Tyson that was before prison. So now you got to ask, do you think that Riddick Bowe would have beat Buster Douglas? And I say yes. Yes. Even in good shape, like he was against Mike Tyson, I say Buster Douglas would lose to Riddick Bowe. Yeah. Even in good shape. Frank Bruno versus Lennox Lewis. This was a fight. Said Frank Bruno was telling Lennox Lewis he ain't a real UK fighter. I don't know whether, I guess that's a UK thing, just like an American, you ain't a real American fighter or this and that and the other, but they say Lennox Lewis beat the brakes off Frank Bruno for that. The Battle of Britain is what they call October 1st. On my sister's birthday, my sister was, 12 years old. I like the old WBC belt. It was smaller. Some say Lewis Duck Bowe. I mean, in that situation, you'll never know. Because like I said, Bowe was beating Lewis in that first round. I think frustration set in is the reason he lost in the amateurs against him. I mean, we have seen Lennox Lewis lose to fighters like, what's the guy, McCall? Do you think McCall would have beat Riddick Bowe? We've seen him lose to Hasim Rahman. Do you think Hasim Rahman would have beat Riddick Bowe? See, that's why you hate to have the gaps. See, that's like with the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence situation. Now that they say Errol is officially moving up, that gap gonna torture us. That gap is gonna torture the real fans of boxing. It's gonna hurt us for a long time, y'all. It's gonna hurt us. Because we don't have to be using a triangle effect. Could this person, well, if he lost to this person, could he beat him? And if he beat this person, could you see what I'm saying? It's gonna torture us about that fight. It's gonna torture us. Michael Bent. Oh, this is the guy that knocked out Tommy Morrison. Yeah, Tommy Morrison, they came out there swinging and banging. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't no moving around the ring and clinching the whole fight. And no, them dudes was going out there, you know what I'm saying, to assassinate each other. They called this fight between Tommy Morrison versus Michael Bent, they called it the Tulsa Shootout. They end up banging. You heard me? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Real deal boxing. That's the boxing I love. Fighters who ain't scared to engage, go in there and take a chance and get hit. On the fighters, let's name some fighters of the day who willing to go in there and do like these old guys did. Sean Porter. Got to give a shout out to Sean Porter. OG type fighter. Then back down from nobody, then run from no opponent. Sean Porter, my number one for a fighter of old that's in today's game. Sean Porter. My next, Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford. Willing to get hit to settle the deal. Terrence Crawford. It ain't too many of these fighters today that's willing to go do that now. That's old school, got that old school vibe. I'll even say this, and I give this little dude no credit. Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Old school style. Regis Prograis. Yes, sir. Regis Prograis. Tank Davis. Tank Davis. Willing to get hit to KO you. Tank Davis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And y'all know I show Tanks not a lot of love. But like what credit do, you gotta give it, baby. What credit do, you gotta give it, baby. And Tank deserved that. Let me see some more. Old school style. Old school style. Willing to get hit to get off. Let me see. Let me see. Canelo Alvarez. Canelo willing to hit and get off. And what I mean by willing to get hit and get off is mean they willing to take the fight over. They willing to push it to the limit. Even take a risk of them getting knocked out to knock out their opponent. That's what I mean by willing to get off. It ain't too many fighters like that today. So I'm trying to respect those that are rare that's doing that. Let me see. I'm trying to think of some more names, y'all. I do give credit to Wild. Benavidez. Which Benavidez? What do I think about Thurman fighting Spence? Hold up. Give me a second about that. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. My opinion to Thurman fighting Spence. This is a fight that should have been happened. This is a fight that should have been happening. A lot of people gonna, look at it and gonna say, Thurman ducked Errol Spence Jr. No, Thurman mandatory. Thurman was the mandatory for Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather decided to hold up Errol Spence like a bulletproof vest. And that's how Errol Spence's names first started getting mentioned in boxing. Simply because Floyd Mayweather didn't want to fight. And Floyd Mayweather is TBE to me still, but he did not want to fight Keith Thurman. So he started talking about Errol Spence, talking about if you fight Errol Spence, a guy who 14, 15, and 0, then I'll give you a shot at the title. Keith Thurman was like, this little boy ain't got nothing to offer me. Why would I fight him when you my mandatory? That's all Keith Thurman did. So Errol Spence got hate for Keith Thurman basically just for saying that he ain't had nothing to offer him. Why? I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Why would I go and fight a dude 15 and 0 when I could get a bigger payday with Floyd Mayweather Jr. who's supposed to fight me because I'm his mandatory? He never ducked Errol Spence. That's a lie. And to be honest with you, Errol Spence piggybacked off Keith Thurman's name at the time. He piggybacked off Keith Thurman's name at the time. Now, true enough, Errol Spence is a big name now. That's without a doubt. But he piggybacked off Keith Thurman's name. And that's facts. And I'm not saying that because Keith Thurman is my favorite fighter. That's the truth. When they mention Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman brought me back to loving boxing. When they mentioned Keith Thurman, all of a sudden after Floyd did that, that's when Errol would get mentioned. Didn't nobody even know who Errol Spence was. Nobody knew who Errol Spence was until Floyd Mayweather said his name. And that's facts. No hate, facts. And I'm not talking about in boxing. I'm talking about people who watch boxing, outsiders of boxing. Did nobody know who Errol Spence was until Floyd said, hey, Keith Thurman, fight him. Fight him. Well, y'all, it's time for me to get off, man. I didn't went long enough. I just wanted to get on here because I truly love this, and I had to talk about, the situation of these heavyweights and how we should show them respect and how it should be some type of fun for them to where these dudes should never have to worry again, like I said, because they entertain the hell out of the public. Dangerous situations in the ring. Big guys in a sling and throwing blows in each other in the head. Somebody could have died. Somebody could have had trauma or something. And these men, gave us, entertainment. Real deal entertainment. I'm talking about it makes boxing today look like they out there putting on makeup. What's up with your shadow, man? They making boxers today look like they out there putting on makeup, man. Like they out there playing. I'm talking about these was real deal fighters, man. And not just the heavyweights. You got to go back to the 70s, the 80s, of those eras. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Michael Moore did beat Evander Holyfield. I remember that. See, that's when I was young. My dad used to have a scrambler. That's when you could watch pay-per-view stuff and movies and stuff like that. It didn't matter. You could watch it for free. I know a lot of people don't know what a scandal was. But you know what I'm saying? That was like what they call it, what the thing they be putting in the back of the TV now, that was the fire stick of the 90s. It used to be a little black box, they call it a scandal. You could watch all the, the movies that you had to pay for and stuff. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people remember them boxes. That's how I used to watch a lot of them fights on that scrambler box. But then it used to be some type of little digital thing or something they could do to find out if you got a scrambler and mess your scrambler up back in the day too. So you know you're OG in the game if you remember them scramblers. The Bo and Lewis fight is on June 18th, 1994. Well, it didn't happen. Former heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe and world boxing title holder Lennox Lewis have signed a lucrative deal to fight sometime in November or early December. Fighters managers announced yesterday. The deal has been signed. There's an ironclad commitment. Bowe's manager Rock Newman said via conference call from London. The site has yet to be determined, but is expected to be in Las Vegas, and the bout will be televised by TVKO Sports. The pay-per-view arm home box office. Lewis, who last month defended his WBC title against journeyman Phil Jackson, is guaranteed a minimum. Hold on, I got big lips. A minimum of $18 million. And y'all out here talking about some these niggas getting paid. Y'all out here talking about Aerosmith Juniors and their paydays and pay-per-views. Say Lennox Lewis got guaranteed a minimum of 18 million. Bowles fight, who has not fought since relinquishing his World Boxing Association and IBF titles to Evander Holyfield last November, will receive at least 13 million. Well, damn. Oh, Bo relinquished so that goes back into ducking then. You know, a lot of people, how can people say that Bo ducked Lennox Lewis when he didn't just relinquish the WBC? Bo relinquished the WBA and the IBF. The WBA and the IBF. I guess it's good to read sometimes, huh? Well, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I've been on for a minute now, hour and 28 minutes, man. I just got to thank y'all. I thank y'all for y'all love, y'all support, man, for, you know what I'm saying, rocking with your boy Easy for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I got to give a shout out to the legend OG heavyweights out there, man. Thank y'all for all y'all did for the sport of boxing, even beyond the 80s, you know, even those all the way back in the day. You know, and even give a shout out to the ones other day. But y'all ain't messing with them OGs. Them OGs, man, they would beat the hell out of these heavyweights today. And no disrespect, you know, I know y'all say, well, it's easy for you to say you ain't know. Yeah, but that's what we got challenged for. As we talk about, we criticize. Yeah, okay. But at the end of the day, y'all can mess with them. I thank y'all for y'all loving y'all support. Everybody who tuned in tonight and watched this will be on the channel of Easy Work Boxing. Subscribe to the channel, hit them 3 dots and hit all notifications. You heard me? Hit all notifications. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to show the channel some love, you know where to go. This your boy Easy, baby. I want to give a shout out to everybody who watched. Pitbull, Shadow Band. You understand? Let me see if they go up. Mr. 717, I thank you, my brother. Third Eye, Isaiah Matthews. Thank y'all. This your boy Easy.